Holy crap, Cory! It's a calamity.
Is also the history of Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Cory, Zelda is back, and we're checking out Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And this is the first in the series for me to jump into, and I think you're right there with me as well.
Yeah.
And this is, honestly, it's a brawler, dude. Like, what do you think of the game?
Yeah, this is definitely kind of a button mash, like a strategic, I'm gonna say strategic
Sure.
button mash,
Yep.
hack and slash, kind of Dynasty Warriors-esque type game here.
Exactly.
And it, you know, the story takes place 100 years before the storyline of Breath of the Wild. So there's kind of this whole kind of Zelda lore here that we've never really been exposed to before, and you kind of focus on learning a lot more about Zelda and who she is as a character kind of before all the events. And there's some tie-ins, so if you've played Breath of the Wild, there's going to be some references here that you're going to be able to kind of pick up on and understand.
Yeah.
But for us, kind of getting back to this one, it's all about the gameplay here. Like, the story is definitely there. It's not super deep,
No.
but it is interesting. It kind of keeps your attention enough. But let's get real here. Yeah, it's all about the battling here. So you kind of start off as Link, the silent hero. There's no voiceover here by him.
Man.
There's voiceovers by everybody else, which I'm going to sidebar real quick, was done really, really well.
Yep.
I thought the voiceovers were done really well. I like the characters. It kind of brought life to everybody. But again, Link, nothing other than, you know, the grunts and groans that you get when he's fighting. So, man, it's, you know, another miss here on that one, I think. But overall, I did have a great time playing this game, and I think just I can't get the battles out of my head here, man. They're just so much fun. What did you think?
Yeah, I've had a blast. As this being the first for me in the series to jump into, I thought this was awesome. Again, getting back to the fact that Link still says nothing really irritates me, man. I'm so tired of the silent protagonist when everybody else is talking. Like, everybody else is voiceover and really well. So the fact that Link doesn't have any video at all is just kind of, man, it would have just brought the game up to that next level to just have some kind of connection in that sense, right? So you lose that a little bit, and that's hard to kind of move forward in the game. But when we talk about the story, Cory, it is light. It's very, very light.
Yeah.
It's just calamity is about to happen, right? So you're out there to save the world once again, per se, as, you know, all these Ganon's monsters and creatures are coming down to take over the world. So you're out there, but the way the map is set up, I thought was unique as well. The fact that when you go to your map, you select missions, but then you're also able to bounce around to like the blacksmith, and you can help them out, and you can donate resources that you've gathered in these battles to them and help them out, and you get rewarded, and then you're able to upgrade your swords, and then you're able to upgrade other characters' abilities and things like that. And I thought that was a real highlight to the game. It's not an open world experience like we are used to with Breath of the Wild. It is very linear based in that sense, with a couple different paths on the map that you kind of jump into at the time. But I thought it was really good. And then the battle system is so fluid. So I played in handheld a lot. I put it up on the big screen, and Cory, man, that looks bad. It really does not. It does not look pretty at all. You know, you put Breath of the Wild up there, dude, that looks gorgeous, right? It looks beautiful on the big screen. It does not here, unfortunately, which is too bad. Because I wanted to see Zelda, and I want to see Link and all the other characters on the big screen. When you're playing in handheld mode, it is nice. It looks great, but you want to see some of that extra detail on a bigger screen, and you're just not able to get that here. And it looks really blurry or muddy, and it just doesn't look as nice. So that was too bad to see that kind of come around. But the abilities that you get as Link and Zelda and your other characters, I thought were really cool. And I honestly, dude, I think a lot about the battle system. But you also feel now that the Switch is starting to get a little old in the life cycle, because when you have so many of Ganon's creatures out there, that thing starts to chug, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's definitely frame rate issues here when you get into some of these larger battles. And like we're
Yeah.
talking, we're fighting hundreds of people at a time here because this game is all about the masses. And like
Yeah.
you said, when they start filling up the screen, you really start to notice that every once in a while there's going to be some kind of laggy, kind of glitchy holdups here. And I mean, it doesn't really detract from the game at all. You just kind of notice that it's there, and that's
Yeah.
kind of it's a bit of a bummer. But like you said, the Switch has been kind of chugging on some of these recent games lately, and I think it's just because it's kind of getting a little old, right? I mean, we got all these new kids on the block now with the next gen console, so you know Nintendo's going to be coming down the road with something soon. But for now, games like this definitely take a toll on the console, and playing handheld is probably the best way to go with this one because, again, like you said, on the big screen, this one struggles, especially when you get into some of these frame rate issues. But to get back to the combat, I really did enjoy it. I like the way that we have the system set up here. You can pull the triggers and the bumpers mid combat to pull up extra menus with abilities that you get to use. And a lot of times for the boss battles, you need to use these abilities kind of in a well-timed manner to be able to break down the defenses of the bosses, to kind of get that extra edge in the combat so you can, you know, defeat them and move on through this adventure, because it's not always necessarily just about smashing those buttons. You have these combos available to you, and every character has some of the same abilities, but they kind of go about them in a different manner. You know, Link's bombs, he throws 4 in a row and they're kind of all targeted, but you know, everybody else maybe only just drops the bomb in a certain kind of way or in a random direction kind of thing. So everybody's got their kind of special abilities that are a little bit better than somebody else. So it's kind of nice to be able to tailor your play style depending on what character you play with. And I like the ability, like you said, on the map to be able to send those characters to go fight battles in certain areas, because there's a ton of NPCs on this map. So it's nice to kind of have someone there to give you a hand. And I know you definitely had someone giving you a hand when you were playing. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. We're actually able to play in couch co-op, dude. I had a blast. So me and my son were on, and we were checking out the game, and he was going in one way. So it was split screen, top and bottom. So we weren't losing any of the real estate kind of on screen that we were normally used to. I thought it was really good. He was able to venture off in one direction. You know, sometimes you're tethered when you're playing couch co-op. I didn't have that here. So he was able to kind of venture off, and I was able to go on my direction. I thought that was a blast. So the fact that we have so much fun playing the game, and then where I was able to bring my own kids in at the same time, dude, that's such a plus for me. And it was a big bonus to see that. Now, I did have one particular problem. It was mostly on Link, actually. When you bring out your bow and arrow, dude, every time I hit that L2 to aim, I was like up and down. I was like flying all over the place. So
yeah,
that was in handheld. And I find often when you're doing the handheld with the Joy-Cons on the Switch, it can be a little convoluted when you're trying to get your arrows or your reticule in the right position, right? So I thought that was a little irritating. Moving over to the Pro Controller, I really didn't find it to be that much better. So that was just one of those misses. But getting back to the overall game and the fact that it's co-op, man, it was a fun time to play this. I really did enjoy the game.
Yeah, man, nice.
Cory, we blasted through Calamity. What do you score in this one?
Well, I'm gonna hack and slash my way into a good one here because I had a ton of fun playing this game.
Yeah.
The voiceovers were great. I thought the story was there. It wasn't the best. Some of the controls were a bit of a hang up, but overall the experience was a ton of fun. So you know what, man? I gotta give this one a 7.5.
You know what? I was thinking a little bit higher, but no, going back to the points that we made, I think you're right on point. The fact that the story is a little light. There are some combat issues as well, but again, light issues, right? But when you go out and you blast through all Ganon's creatures, and then you're playing couch co-op, and there's just so much to do. It is not a short game by any stretch of the means. And when you finish it, there's still more resources you can go out and get, and another side quest to do. So it's definitely worth everybody's time. I had a blast. If they could just polish it a little bit more, or maybe bring a Switch 2, that would be even better. But it puts me right now at a 7.5.
Great gameplay with a well thought out control scheme. The story is there if you're interested, but it doesn't really dive too deep. But the big plus here is couch co-op.